Some great performances there, as I'm sure you'll agree. Willie, we're a little bit behind schedule, so you'll love this. We're just sharp and concise now in some of these novice chasers, and maybe a word on the novice hurdlers as well. But the likes of Undersow and Don Polly, are these some of the most exciting horses you've ever had? I know Vautour is very much the apple of your eye, but these can't be too far behind, are they?
Oh, they are. I mean, they're extraordinary horses in their own right. I mean, to look at Don Polly's style of racing, he gives Bryan heart attacks. I love watching jockeys on Don Polly because, you know, I love horses like that, lazy horses that the jockeys have to work a bit harder, and they always want me to put cheek pieces and blinkers on them, but to me that's cheating. So just work a bit harder, get back in the gym. But and Bryan knows that, you know, when he gets daylight, when he gets out, he just gets into, you know, the turbo kicks in. Extraordinary thing about this horse, when he first ran in France, he ran with cheek pieces in his first race. The trainer said she couldn't get him down to the gallop, she couldn't get him to gallop straight, and she put cheek pieces on. And I think that he's just such a big galoot, looking around him everywhere. He's interested in everything, and he's only copying on nowadays that he has to race and actually pass the other horses, you know. So it's, you know, it's just finally the penny is dropping with him. And his performance in Cheltenham was something else. But no, Brian's getting more confidence in him now, I think.
Yeah, I remember I said to you before it went up about hitting the front, should I take a lead in Cheltenham? And you said, just get to the front. If you get there, that'll do. And I was going down the back straight the last time, and I was saying to myself, oh God, this is going to be a long week. They were getting further and further clear in front of me. But like as I said, one jump, he winged the ditch and he landed in front. You know, so just the ability he has, I suppose we don't actually know how much he does have, because he seems to have plenty left up inside in the locker so far, and he's definitely one that I'm looking forward to.
And Willie, Vroom Vroom Mag is a very exciting mare as well. She's entered in that 3-mile race with Don Polly. I presume you wouldn't ideally want to run the two of them against each other, would you?
I don't know what to do. I know my owner might be keen to do that.
Brian's not so keen, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'd leave her at home.
I would prefer. I think she's done everything right this year. She hasn't met the geldings yet. She's too nice, I think, to throw her in here. Am I saying the right thing?
Fine. That suits me just fine.
I'm just looking at the race. Jiljam Boa, did he ever run over 3 miles? No, and I think he might be the one that would, to me, I'd be very afraid of him. 23 days since his last run. What Fairyhouse? He won the new Ryanair Gold Cup. Yeah, I think he's going to improve with the trip. So he is. We'll probably run Perfect Gentleman there as well. We'll see how he is. Balser Lido. Now there's a horse. I don't know what. I haven't spoken to Michael or Eddie about Balser Lido, but I think he's crying out for a trip as well. And we've nowhere else to go with him, have we? Yeah. So I'd like to try him there. At least we'll know for next year.
Okay. And Undersow, Willie, just while we have you, an open and shut case it should be. I know you never like to get ahead of yourself, but there's no reason why it shouldn't be the same horses again. Yeah,
he'll go for the novice, the 2-mile version. Hopefully he'll take to Punchestown. Has he run there? I can't remember.
Won a hurdle race there, didn't he?
He won a hurdle race there, yeah. He was very good. He was fantastic, wasn't he? That was the last year's festival or 2 years ago, and I think that's, I mean, one of our, whatever we thought about him, I think we got a huge offer for him after that race, which told us what everyone else was thinking about him, that the amount of money that we were offered. And, you know, it highlighted to us what other people thought about him. So he obviously likes Punchestown. Hopefully he can manage the fences.
And Willie, just finally for now, novice hurdlers, Duvan, brilliant at Cheltenham. You've got the likes of Shane's Hill in there as well, Nichols Canyon. Plans for those. Annie Power, you mentioned there as well, the mares race.
Well, I think Annie will probably go the mares along with Annalife. Annalife hasn't been right all season, but
she's probably going to she's coming back to herself a bit better now.
She is.
Last run's been better.
Annalife is very strong, and she's very headstrong, and we try and train her with that in mind. But I think she's disappointed me so much this season. it's going to be, we have an expression, die dog or the license, but anyway, I won't. But I mean, that's it. I'm just going to train her very strong for that race. But hard to see her beating a straight any power.
And Nicky, what else are you looking forward to? I know you made the point you're quite light in the Grade 1s this year. Anything for the handicaps? Of course, Kilmacavity was a good winner for you in one of the handicaps last year. Anything of that nature this time?
We'll have a few. There will be. There'll be the handicappers. Michael Buckley's got a couple of horses to come over. And we will have some bumper horses, but I said it ringing in my ears from about 4 or 5, 6 years ago when the late, great Johnny Harrington told me that I was going to run a bumper horse. How stupid could you possibly be to think you could run an English bumper horse in an Irish bumper? So actually we did win the champion bumper. But I will forgive him for that because he was a legend. And we do try. We will bring a few bumper horses over.
Willie wants names, Nicky, I tell you. He's just about to pipe up
You're
here.
never going to get that out of him.
Who was your jockey's agent that year? Was that the year that you rang me up looking for a rider?
Possibly. No, that was the year I bought a horse called Quantitative Easing over to confuse the commentator.
I suggested Aidan Fitzgerald, and you ended up beating me a short head in the bumper.
He won the Golf Stanley Land Rover, and I didn't get a Land Rover.
Poor old Willie hoist with his own petard. Any one name in particular to look out for, Nicky? Surely there's one bumper horse to watch.
There's that winners of one, isn't there? There is a horse of Michael Buckley's, but actually does share it with somebody that Willie knows quite well.
He knows all about this, I'd say, does he?
He better not beat me anyhow, because I think we might have passed over him at one stage out of sales or something. He's related to cousin Vinny, I think, is he?
Is this a horse called Newsworthy, Nicky?
You just might be right. Well, actually, the only good news I've had tonight is listening to about Don Poley, because I have his half-brother. And it is so slow, I don't even run it.
Send him over, Nicky. Send him over.
I'll swap him for Don Poley.
Okay, then Newsworthy then might be one to watch out for Nicky. Bryan, give us one for the week just before we wrap up. Maybe you mentioned No More Heroes there. Would he be the one you're looking forward to most?
Well, Don Foley, I suppose. I'm looking forward to him, and No More Heroes. Them two, definitely.
Okay, and Willie, this might be a struggle, but maybe pluck out one name that hasn't come up in conversation so far. For those who like a little wager, might be a reasonable price, not your 1 to 3, 2 to 5 shots.
Some Medici. We'll probably have to put him in a handicap, and he's improving all the time.
He was a good winner at Ferryhouse just last week, wasn't it?
That's right. Depending on, I think he came out well, but it looks like he might be going for a handicap, so he's possibly one.
Folks, that just about takes us to the end. Thank you very much indeed, once again, ladies and gentlemen. And a word of thanks also to our panel, Nicky Henderson, to Bryan Cooper, to Willie Mullins, and to Mick Fitzgerald.